Hey guys, it's Erin from Next Evolution Athletics. Today I'm going to show you what a flow looks like. So flow is typically used at the beginning of a yoga practice. Sometimes it can be used in the middle just to really warm up the body, hitting some targeted muscle groups to stretch things out, getting the blood flowing. So we're always going to start on your hands and knees. So bringing the knees right aligned with the hips and the wrists in line with the shoulders. So when you're coming down, making sure your hands are nice and wide, spread apart, and you're putting pressure into the tippy pads of the fingers so that you can relieve a lot of the pressure off of the wrists. Again, what I like to do is take my middle finger and point it to the edge of the mats, so you externally rotate the shoulders. Okay, nice hands planted. We're going to go into what we call a cat-cow. So a cat-cow is really great for spinal movement, again, to get the blood flowing. So as you inhale, you're really pushing away at the mat, right through to really stretch out the scapula. At the same time, you're tucking your hip under, dropping your head and looking back at your belly button. Okay, so this is your cat pose. As you exhale, you're tilting the pelvis up towards the sky, dropping the belly to the ground, chest comes forward, head comes up, okay, into your cat pose. So inhale into your cat, really push through, really getting a lot of separation into your scapula. Exhale back down. Again, getting a lot of stretching through here. Okay, so you can take this 3-5 times. Okay, really rolling those shoulders away from the ears, really pulling that neck up and head up. Okay, so once you finish that, you're tucking the toes underneath. Okay, so really getting high up onto those tippy pads. Okay, bracing the core. So as you brace the core, it's like, ladies, if you're pulling on a super tight pair of jeans and you want to really pull that in. Guys, it's if your belly button's kind of going towards the spine if you don't know what it's like to pull on tight jeans. So take the toes underneath and inhale. You're going to lift up those knees about 2 inches. So making sure they're floating. So again, keeping that core really nice and braced. As you exhale, you're going to bring the ribs towards the quads. And then you're really going to stretch out those lats. So really getting a nice stretch all the way through. Inhale, come back forward. Don't drop the knees. Okay. Again, exhale, ribs to quads. Inhale to come forward. And this time as you exhale, ribs to quads, you're going to send that bum, the hips up, all the way up. You may have to walk your hands out just kind of one hand width apart into your first downward dog. Now, downward dog is really important. Downward dog is not necessarily about a rounded back. It's about a really flattened back. Everybody thinks downward dog is about heels going to the floor, but it's actually not. We really want to create a nice flat back. So if anything, I'd rather you bend your knees and really concentrate on getting your chest towards the quads, okay? Relaxing the neck down and taking a few breaths through here, okay? This is a great time you can pedal out your feet. So pedaling out your feet means you're pulling your heel on one foot as you raise the heel on the other foot away, and just switching back and forth, back and forth. Okay? The other thing you can do is kind of sway the hips as you're pedaling out your feet. This kind of starts to open up some of your QLs, getting the obliques working as well. Okay. Coming back to a downward dog center position, high up on the tippy toes, and start tippy toeing those toes all the way to the hands. Okay, this is what we call our forward fold. So in our forward fold, you're going to just let everything hang. It's a great one where you can start to stretch out, straighten out the legs, so you can really feel the hamstrings. If you can't straighten out your legs, a little micro bend really protects. If you start feeling a nice stretch through the back, through the glutes, and then dropping those hands down and feeling really nice and weighted, really giving your neck a nice shake. Again, nice and loose. If you can touch the ground, great. If you can't, you can use your tippy fingers. Then we move into what's called a half lift. So half lift, hands are placed on the shins, knees, or quads, but the whole idea with a half lift is you're going to come with a really flat back. So rolling the shoulders away from the ears, almost tucking the scapula down the back of the neck, or back of the hip, sorry. Pulling the crown all the way forward, so you get a nice flat position. Okay? Exhale back down to your forward fold. As you inhale, you're going to hang your hands out to the side, and then right Squeeze the chest, leading with the chest, squeezing those glutes, bringing those hands up overhead. So ideally you want the biceps towards the ears, and then drop again those scapula down the back. So you want to really feel like it's away from the ears. Okay? Exhale back down to your forward fold. Inhale, come back to that half lift position. Again, knees, shins, quads, pushing that crown through. This time as you exhale, you're going to bend your knees, hands are going to become planted onto the ground, and you're going to step back to your plank position. So plank, making sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders. So traditional chaturanga is actually just a 90-degree bend into the elbows. You come all the way down to 90 degrees, and you can hold it, okay? Or you can come into a full push-up all the way down to the ground, okay? So depending on what level you want. So chaturanga down, okay? 90 degrees, tuck those feet, and then coming to your up dog. So option for your up dog, you can keep your quads away from the ground, squeezing the glutes, or depending on your level, you can keep your feet and knees on the ground. But the one thing in both poses, really roll the shoulders back, chest comes up, head comes up, okay, into your down up dog. Tuck the toes back underneath, send those hips all the way up, back to your downward dog. So we're going to go two more times, a little bit faster so you can see what a flow really looks like. Okay? So inhale. As you exhale, you can step, jump, hop towards your hands, forward fold. Inhale, come to a half lift. Exhale, back down to a forward fold. Inhale, hands out to the side, raising all the way up. Big stretch at the top. Exhale, hinging from the hip. So sending those hips back, kind of like you do when you deadlift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale again, forward fold. Half lift, sorry. Exhale, bending those knees, hands to plank. Back to plank. Chaturanga push-up down. Into your up dog. Inhale, exhale, downward dog. One big breath through here. As you exhale, step, jump, hop towards your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way to the top. Exhale, hinge from the hip, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, hands planted. Back to plank, hold plank. Chaturanga down. Inhale to your up dog. And inhale, exhale, downward dog. Excellent. Come down to your knees. So that's typically what we do at the start of classes for flow. Feel free to use this, even just to warm the body up. It's a great way to start workouts, just to get the body flowing and get some movement.